Hello, I'm Monique Diop, Team Rayceen Productions co-host and moderator.
I'm Erin Palmer, Team Rayceen Productions co-host and moderator.
Hi, I'm Krylios, Team Rayceen Productions co-host and moderator.
Joining us is Marla.
Hi, Marla.
Hi.
Welcome. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and your background?
Yes, absolutely. So my name is Marla Renee Stewart. I am a sexologist and sexual strategist. I am a pleasure activist, and I am basically a person who helps people with their sex lives. So I particularly help people with around seduction, communication, enhancing their sex skills. And I specialize in alternative sexual communities like kinksters, non-monogamous folks, LGBTQI, 2+ folks, 2S+ folks, and folks, HIV, public health. So I have a variety of disciplines that I reach. And I also run a sex conference called Sex Down South that I co-founded with my business partner, Tia, who is amazing. And that is a wonderful 3-day conference in Atlanta every year where we do lots of learning and also have fun. So we work hard and we play hard.
Wonderful, wonderful. And sex is such an important part of our human lives, and learning about it and learning how to do well with it is so important. How did you get involved in it in the first place to start your career in this?
I started my career, I would say it came about in college, right? So I was studying human sexuality, and I think part of that fascination with sexuality, I think, was sort of embedded in me as a child. I would say my mom was like a sex positive role model, and she really gave me the tools to be more sexually responsible, right? And so with that, I went into school, went into college, being sex positive. So being the advice hub for my friends. And then I just realized, like, I'm giving some really great advice, and I'm learning more about it. Like, this needs to be my career, So when I got to graduate school, I thought about like, okay, well, after graduate school, I'll start my business. But one of my best friends was like, no, just start your business now. You have the knowledge, by the time you finish grad school, everything will take off. You'll be fine. And that's exactly what I did. So I started my graduate school, and it has been amazing.
Awesome. And within this career, you've been able to create some amazing events where people are able to go and learn and fellowship and gather all the information they need about something that a lot of humans take part in, but nobody likes to talk about as much. So let's talk about some of those recent and upcoming events, including Sex Down South and Dick Fest. How did those events get started, and what really propels you, each year to put on these type of events?
Well, so I think, I'm gonna answer your last question first. So what really propels me to create the events really is around sort of being sexually free, being sexually liberated, to really decrease the shame, the stigma that a lot of people get when they're younger, or they're socialized, whether that's from their family, from religion, from schooling, whatever, friends, or just, sociocultural circles. All of those people can have, or all of those institutions can have effects, right? Now, whether they're positive or negative is the key, right? And so a lot of times when they are negative, people, enter sex or think it's shameful, or, are, think that some parts of their body or whatever, just, they've been taught that it is a negative thing. And so I've created these events to really help people get a little bit more free, to talk about their sex life more explicitly, to really show that you can be a sex positive individual, free of shame, free of stigma, and really enjoy like your sexual life, your sexual experiences, embrace your sexual energy. Because I wholeheartedly believe that our sexual energy fuels what we do in our everyday lives, right? So like when we're not having good sexual experiences, most likely we're thinking about those things and it's affecting our other parts of our life negatively. You know what I mean? So I'm really, really super keen on that sexual energy is a big part of us. And it's why people get in trouble, right? You know, so we know it's powerful, you know?
So you have those sexually conferences. Do you guys dress up when you have these conferences?
I would say there's a dressing up or dressing down, you know? Okay. So for like Sex Down South, we have, it's clothing optional. I mean, you have to, of course, it's in a hotel. So you have, you know, you have to enter the space with clothes on. But we have, you know, a pipe and drape, and we cover the doors with black paper. So people can feel free to wear whatever they want or not wear whatever they want. Right. Like this past year, we had like a naked parade, right? Ooh. We were like, wow, you know, so somebody from the workshop did it was called the Love Thy Body workshop, just was like, you know what, let's just get rid of our shame and parade naked at the conference. And they did. And that was very, very beautiful. So when you say dress up or dress down, it's just sort of, we dress how we feel. We really encourage body autonomy and for people to really embrace all that they are, which includes your clothing or not clothing or whatever. So there is no dress code. Just be comfortable and be you.
Yes, I am so interested in all the topics that you guys have going out there and the people that you work with. And on your website, it was like, are you ready to learn the latest and greatest dick pleasure? Whether you have a dick or not, whether you're involved with the dick or not, or if you just love dicks. So I like saying that word. And when I saw it, it just like tickled me. And I said, oh yeah, I like all you people. So yeah,
Monique, you must find yourself at Dick Fest one year then.
I'm telling you, for real. It's coming in February. So yeah, we got to get down there.
Yes. So Dick Fest came out. I mean, I literally, Monique, if you have dick on the mind all the time, I literally just like woke up and was like, Dick Fest. Like all the presenters that I know that do like dick workshops, we need to do Dick Fest. Like we come from different perspectives and everybody brings something new. And so I basically put together this virtual festival of I say phallic centered virtual festival. So whether that is a dick you strap on or a dick you have attached to your body, whatever it is, like it's for you, you know what I mean? So but yeah, it was really great. And it's a really intense weekend, but it's fun and you learn a lot and, you know, win a bunch of prizes, you know, from the sponsors that I get. And, you know, it's a really just good time. It's educational, but, you know, we also have fun too.
There seems to be so much enjoyment and liberation and like removal of stigma. And I'm wondering how you deal with, I guess, blockage or trauma or some of the things that may pop up that pose hurdles to getting to that space.
You know, there's a lot of, you know, I think I was fortunate, right? Like I said, I came from a sex positive, you know, mother. But the blockages there's a lot. You know, because we deal with a lot of body shame. Is our body the right body? We're constantly being fed, you know, by like capitalism machine that we need to improve our bodies in some way, shape, or form. So we're always looking around what is wrong with me instead of what is right with me, you know. And so reframing all of those things I think is important. And then also thinking about, like I said earlier, the institutions, right? So religion, right? Being in the Bible Belt, being in the South can really put a damper on some people's sexuality, whether that is an oppressive sexuality, you know, people are shamed, or purity culture, right? Like, oh, you better be a virgin if you get married, right? There's just this ingrained, you know, the cis heteropatriarchy and how it's just so daunting on people, how it represses and suppresses people's sexuality. And so I think it's important. Like, I think if the religion is serving you in a positive light, I think it's great. If you feel like it's oppressing you in some way, shape, or form, that you can't be yourself and can't be honest and can't love yourself, then I think it's a problem. And so for a long time, I would say I could smell a Jehovah's Witness a mile away, right? Because someone would come up to me and whatever came out of their mouth, I was like, you must have been a Jehovah's Witness in the past, or you practiced being a Jehovah's Witness. They're like, how did you know that? And I'm like, there's something in this sentence or something like the world is ending, like the imminent death. And I'm like, yeah, there's imminent death, but like YOLO, right? Like, we only have this life once. So you better go ahead and express it fully. Because, but I think, of course, that it relates to people in their afterlife and whatnot. So getting people to understand like their religion can also be empowering if they wish. Sorry about the sunlight, Florida, the lighting. So, but I think, really thinking about how like all of these different cultural institutions, how it can be, a negative effect can really kind of be like I said, daunting for individuals. So the barriers, how I help people around the barriers is just sort of thinking about the religion. So if somebody is like, well, I come from Islam and, my religion says, I can't do anal sex. Like, okay, well, what are the other things that you can do that you can pleasure, right? So if anal sex is anal penetration, okay, well, can you use your tongue? Can you do rimming? Or like, what are the other things that you can do to help fulfill those needs, but are limited by, your religion, so I don't think, we should be shaming anybody for who they are, what they practice, but more so, what are the ways that we can navigate and pull out the positive pieces so that you can really enjoy, your sex life and what that means for you.
That is so good and so important. Yeah, I have to go to Dick Fest very, very soon.
Yes. And Dick Fest is great too, because like there's all sorts of different presenters from all sorts of different backgrounds. And like the first Dick Fest that we had, I had a uncut dick panel. So it was all people who had never had circumcision, because there were a lot of curiosities around, uncircumcised, penises. And so I was like, this is important. And so the next Dick Fest that we're doing in February, we're having a modified dick panel. So basically what that is they are, most of my panelists are trans men or non-binary people who are taking testosterone, or and then I'm also looking for people who have maybe metoidioplasty or phalloplasty or sort of other modified dicks. So people with piercings, that kind of thing. But this particular modified D panel, I think, is just mostly folks who have been on testosterone.
Okay, so you got a lot of people with a lot of different varieties of backgrounds. Like Luna, she eats pussy like a champ, and you with the magics of squirting, and I like the vulva mapping too, because I think that a lot of people need to learn these things. So not only are you guys having a fun time, you're actually, educating people. Like Carly's dildos or dildon'ts. We need to know that, because some of us don't know what to buy, what size, where it goes. So
how to clean it, how to store it, all of that.
Exactly.
Yes, all of those things. Yes. Yeah. And what's expanded from that too. So from when I woke up and was like, Dick Fest, I was like, well, and then at Dick Fest, people were like, we got to have Clit Fest. And I'm like, yeah, Clit Fest. And so that's sort of what, evolved from there. And then people were like, well, what about anus? And I'm like, Booty Fest. All right. 2023, we'll do Booty Fest in Anal August. We'll make it happen.
Everything. Yes.
Marla, we're going to pull up some photos and we'd love to talk through them with you. These are photos that each of us looked at and they were appealing to us for various reasons. And we'd love for you to walk us through them and talk about what these images are and what they represent.
Yes, absolutely. So this photo is from the Big Bang.
Mm.
It is our host, Mix Eden, who is with, I believe this is Brick House.
Ooh.
Is this Brick? Um, but one of our performers, and I'm not really sure what was happening in this particular moment. Oh, no, this is the stage kitten. I'm sorry. This is the stage kitten picking up money.
Oh.
So they were, I
Is
think, Mix
money?
Eden, they were like flirting and everything with the stage kitten.
Love it.
So yeah, fun time. So this was a performance piece by Bunny and oh, I don't know this other person's name. But so this is a performance piece, and I think it was just around like body positivity, body imagery, and it was a interpretive dance. So it was an interpretive dance piece to a song. And this is the beginning, one of the beginning. I think it had to do with like destigmatizing like kink, destigmatizing fatness, queerness, all of these things.
It's really, they're beautiful images. We love this group shot. Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, let's see. So I wasn't there, so I'm guessing this must be Amina's crew. I am not sure, there's a lot of, I know Amina's people, so the ATL Tantra. So I recognize a lot of the people, the facilitators, and healers. So these are a lot of the healers that worked in the healing space. And yeah.
I love how that one chair right there is hiding a vulva. Very
Yes, I saw that
right.
too.
So there are pictures of vulva. So Goddess Amina did a divine a goddess tarot deck with all vulvas. So I submitted my vulva. So there's like a 52 card tarot deck with just vulvas. Yeah.
Oh,
There's also
ooh.
some vegan messaging in here about
yes, eat pussy, not animals. I love
it. Yes, she is a vegan. So that,
Okay.
yep. Mm-hmm. So this looks like, okay, this is the Hoe Hive table. So so we have vendors in the area, and this particular vendor, the Hoe Hive, they actually produced our Big Bang show. So some of those pictures that you saw earlier, which was part of our closing party, they produced that show. So this looks like people, attendees visiting their booth. So it says lovers, friends, hoes. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah. This is a BVibe table. BVibe supports us every year. They are amazing. The amount of butt plugs that they have for in everybody's booty is amazing. Vibrating ones, and the fit is really nice too. So you got small ones, big ones, whatever your booty likes, they got it. But BVibe has been wonderful, and they have all sorts of, so they were our lanyard sponsors too. So yeah. Planned Parenthood, yes, they are our fiscal sponsor actually. So when people want to go donate to us, they go through Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood is amazing because they don't take any percentage. Sometimes as a fiscal sponsor, people take a percentage of how much money you get in, and so they don't take a dime from us. They just send us a check, and they are amazing. So yeah, Planned Parenthood Southeast. Oh, Atlanta Poly. Oh my gosh. So Atlanta's Polyamory community, they are a conference as well. They have the Atlanta Poly weekend. And our very first conference, they were our AV sponsors. So when Tia and I didn't have a dime, we had $200 to our name. We were like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to put on this conference? And they were like, well, we have AV equipment, because they had been doing conferences for a while. And they were like, we'll be your AV sponsor. We'll bring in all the equipment, the microphones, the speakers. the projector screens, the projectors, they brought in everything. So they were, I mean, a game changer for us. They really supported us, and they've been supporting us every year as well. And so, yeah.
And we all selected this photo, which is just lovely in every way possible.
Yeah, so every year we have the black box, and basically you get inside the black box and take pictures. And excuse me. And so this year, I had this really gaudy tulle robe, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna get in the box with this robe. So yes, this is me in my red robe and just, having fun in the black box.
So everybody could get inside that box?
Yeah, you can get inside the box. You could pose naked. You could pose however you want, and you get your pictures, and the photographer gets them to you. So, so you can have some memories of Sex Down South.
When I saw you in this box, I was like, oh, look at that sexy Spitfire in a box.
Yeah.
I knew you weren't boxed in. So I was just thinking, when you get out of that box, what you about to do?
Okay, exactly.
I'm like, we're going to be in some trouble. Yes.
I love it. Marla, what do you want people to walk away with, when they come to Sex Down South, when they come to Dick Fest, when they come to any event that you do or interact with you and any of your services? What do you want them to walk away with, to carry now into their lives or into their day?
I want them to walk away with the feeling of being safe and secure. I really want them to walk away with not only knowledge, right, but more self-awareness about who they are as a person, who they are in their sexuality, who they are in their desires. I want people to walk away with learning themselves more, and also just to say yes. Like, one of my things is like, just say yes. Sometimes, a lot of people shut themselves off from enjoyment for whatever reason, instead of just saying yes. Like, what does it mean to give yourself permission and to do the things that like you probably wouldn't do, right? So Luna and I, talking about Eat Pussy Like a Champ, Luna and I run a series called Rayceen Kink. And one of our last guests was a wet and messy guest, right? So it was about, it was a kink around putting food on her body. And, at first it's like, put food on my body and then like squish it around. Like, I don't know about that. But the way she started talking about it, right? It was just like, she was so in love. She's like, I love cake and I love putting it all on me. And it was so sexy that I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll try some cake too. You know what I mean? Like, why am I saying no to something? Like, I should be saying yes. And like just trying the experience to see would I actually like it. Yeah, I could picture it in my head and be like, maybe not. But like, what if I just said yes and did it? And what if that feeling was different? And we would never know if we don't say yes, right?
That is true. That is true. Well, Marla, please share with our viewers how they can learn more about you and keep up with what you are doing.
Absolutely. So you can find me personally at the number one, Marla Stewart, MarlaStewart, on every social media platform. Or Velvet Lips Sex Ed, that's VelvetLipsSX, so no E in the sex, ED, Velvet Lips Sex Ed on all social media platforms, and then SDS Con on Instagram, and then Sex Down South ATL on Facebook and Twitter. So you can find all of our handles there. Of course, go to sexdownsouth.com. For any of the conferences or events, such as Sex by Southwest. We're expanding into doing day conferences in 2023, so that's super exciting. And then Velvet Lips Sex Ed for all of my events, including Dick Fest, Clip Fest, Booty Fest, but also All Femme Everything, and other fun, my Kinky Valentine, other fun events that I have going on.
Awesome. So everyone, please look in the description below for links. And Marla, it's been such a pleasure talking to you. You've opened up my eyes. I want to discover things, and I'll be looking at my cake differently as well.
Yeah.
So we really appreciate you coming out here and speaking and learning about all the things that you do. Thank you for coming as our guest.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
To those watching, please follow Team Rayceen on social media.
And please subscribe to the Team Rayceen YouTube channel.
Viewers, thank you for watching.